My name's Ashley. Welcome to the channel, and I am so glad that you are here because I have kind of a heavier topic that I'd like to discuss today. I feel like a lot of my videos are kind of depressed and sad because I'm kind of depressed and sad. Like I'm trying to work through that, but I promise there will be more lighthearted, fun, silly content to come. But today, especially, I need to talk about something that is pretty deep. I would like to begin with a trigger warning. This video will feature discussion of alcoholism and death of a parent. So if that is something that you just really don't have the space for, or something that might not be the best topic for you to hear about, I understand if you sit this one out. I wanted to record this video today because today is my father's birthday. He passed away. He's been gone for over 20 years at this point. My father was an alcoholic. I was young, so the memories that I have are not super clear and I don't have a ton of them, unfortunately. But when I rack my brain and think about all the interactions, all the times that I spent with my daddy, he either had a beer in his hand or there was one somewhere nearby. I will say he was a functional alcoholic until he wasn't. He did get up and go to work every single day, but he drank to excess. And that was a problem. There was one incident in particular where he got into a car accident and broke his neck. And that was, I think, when things really became real for my family, at least from my perspective. You know, I was a little kid because I was supposed to have been in that car with him. And the police officer told my mom that if I had been in that car, I probably would have died. I wouldn't have made it out of that. And so I think that's when stuff really started to solidify. Again, I was a kid. I was a kid in the time where it was old school, stay in a child's place, children are to be seen and not heard, and stay out of grown folks' business. So a lot of this stuff is based on my perception of how it was at the time, and also things that I've learned when I became an adult and we started having these conversations. But I remember that day very specifically. I was staying at my grandmother's house. She refused to let me get in that car with him, and thank goodness she did. From what I have been told, my father was given an ultimatum. You either dry up, get it together, put your alcohol to the side and put your family first, or you leave. And as you can probably guess, he did not quit drinking. And I know, like, alcoholism is a disease and he was sick and he wasn't thinking properly and all that stuff. But remember, I was 9. And so to me, it felt like he quit us. Like he decided that we weren't worth it and that drinking was more important to him. My parents divorced. He moved out. And then just a few years after that, he was gone. It's really hard for me to talk about this because I understand that a lot of the perspective that I have is that of a child. And so trying to talk about this as an adult is difficult because I have a lot more perspective now. I understand a lot more, but I cannot erase how I felt at that time. I feel a lot of pressure to always be good, to always help, to always build people up and support them and make them better, because I worry that if they see the less than perfect version, or if they interact with just the kind of human version of me, that they're gonna leave. They're gonna be like, what is this? What is the point of having this person in my life if they can't support me or enhance my life in some sort of way? But as I'm saying these words, I'm like, girl, that's not true. You have lots of inherent value as a person, regardless of what you bring to the table, and your life matters just because you have it. But deep in my heart of hearts, that little girl is still there. But what I wanted to talk about today, on this day, on his birthday, is the work that I'm doing to reparent myself because of his absence. And I think about this man every single day. Every single day I think about him. And I wonder, like, what would have happened if he had gotten it together? You know, what if he had dried up? Would he have been the dad that I always wanted? I don't know. What would happen if he hadn't died? He might have still been an alcoholic, physically present, but not emotionally present in the way that I needed him to be. And that's the hardest part of it, is I don't know. I sit and I think about all the possibilities, but the reality is that he is gone. And I am a grown up now, and I'm trying to work to heal the part of me that is just a little girl who wants her daddy. I'm also trying to be aware of how this lingering hurt shows up in my relationships. Having been raised by a single mother, I watched her do everything by herself, and I came to the understanding at a very young age that I have to take care of me. I can't depend on anybody else. And so it is hard for me to trust people and to rely on them, especially men. And I'm trying very, very, very diligently to unlearn that. I also just want to say I received no therapy, no counseling, no nothing for this after it happened. This was back in the day when therapy was like, I don't know, a thing to be avoided or taboo or whatever. But I wish I had had the opportunity to talk through some of these feelings then and process some of the stuff then, because I think I might be a little bit better at handling it today. But I am going to reparent myself. I'm going to make sure that baby Ashley gets all the support that she needs now that she didn't get back then. And I really wanted to come in here and just say this outright right now, because today is his birthday and I do want to honor him. Not all my memories of my daddy are bad. Some of them are actually good. And that's what hurts me the most, is because it wasn't all bad. And I just wonder what I could have done differently to make more good moments, while also realizing that I was a kid and it wasn't my responsibility to do that. But I think about it often. Um, Baby Ashley has a big chip on her shoulder, and she feels like she has to do everything it takes to show the world that she is worthy of love and she is worth sticking around for. And so today, on this day, I just want to say to him, like, Daddy, I love you and I miss you a lot. And wherever you are, I hope that you hear this and know that there were some things that you probably could have done differently, but regardless of what happened, I'm still here. And I just want you to be proud and know that I'm figuring it out to the best of my ability. I have decided this year that I want to stop drinking. Last year, I went over 300 days with no alcohol. And this year, my goal is to go the entire year without having any alcohol. Because, like Beyonce said on Cowboy Carter, I'm going to be the one to cleanse me of my father's sins. I'm going to be the parent to my inner child that she deserved. I'm going to be the one to lift her up and support her and let her know that she is perfect, exactly the way that she is. Nothing needs to change, and that I will not abandon her. In the past, I would have had a beer for my daddy in his memory, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you about the hurt that I still carry inside because of his absence, and the work that I'm trying to do to make that hurt go away a little bit at a time. So I don't know if you can see up here, it's me and my daddy, my very first birthday. And he was smiling. And I hope that he was happy. I hope that the time that he spent on this planet wasn't all bad. And I wonder about him and his upbringing and his childhood and what demons he was trying to run away from that made him feel like escaping in a six-pack of beer was the best way to do it. I'm not going to get the answers to those questions most likely, but I think about them and I try to be compassionate towards him. Maybe when I return to my creator and I'm waiting to be born again into my next life, maybe I'll see him and maybe we can have some of these conversations. I don't know. But until then, on this day, I will remember him, the good and the bad. I will cry. I'll smile as I think about him too. And we'll continue to work towards healing baby Ashley and making sure that she knows it wasn't her fault. And she's worthy. You know, people will stick around for her. If nobody else will do it, I will. I'll be the person to do that. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for listening. And as always, your spirit is beautiful. Your life matters. And I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.